So old people are dying. Well, duh. That's what happens when you get old. But the problem is all these skills and crafts that our older generation has learned and honed in to be really good at is also dying with them. So in this video, I basically just went to my buddy Barney's shop. We've been pals for, man, I want to say like 10 or 12 years. It's been a while. We met through 240s. I ended up buying a wrecked roller off of him for parts that I needed. And didn't really talk for a few years. And then we moved down to Northern Virginia and kicked it off again. And we've been pretty good friends since. So he's got a new shop here in Northern Virginia. And he's really fallen into the, I guess you could just say the machining side of motorcycles. So he's doing all kinds of head work and bottom end work and rebuilding engines and all the old Harley stuff that a lot of has died with the old people. I know that sounds terrible to say, but it's true. There's not as many people picking up on these skills and using these tools that our grandfathers and great grandfathers used and got really good with. So it's a shame, I think. But the crazy thing is, tech has come so far in 50 years, which is 1975, by the way. Let that sink in. So why are we letting all these practices die? The several times that we've been out and about at a show or whatever with Barney, and just people are talking about how they are glad that someone is doing this kind of work that he's doing, like the machining and all these old practices and stuff that's not done nowadays at all. I mean, heck, half these engines and stuff and newer things are just throwaways. And I can't speak towards newer Harleys, but as far as vehicles and stuff go, just everything's a throwaway anymore. So it's cool to see that Barney's doing stuff like this and getting really good at it and getting a good customer base going and all that stuff. But why is something like this, I mean, stuff like this dying? It's such a cool procedure. I love the machining side of things. I'm not good at it, and I don't ever plan to be good at it. That's just one of those things that I never felt compelled to get into, I guess. But it's such a cool process. So I don't understand why more people don't want to do it. I mean, stuff does become obsolete. Like we were there the other night and Barney was showing me a set of heads that had uh, cast valve seats, and then the aluminum was poured in around the valve seats. I hope I said that right. But it's crazy. I mean, stuff like that's a lot harder to deal with and whatnot. But it's just crazy because it seems like to nowadays nobody can even change a tire, let alone adjust a distributor. If you can find someone born after 1990 that can adjust points in a distributor, let me know. Hell, find someone that can adjust a distributor. I can't do points, but I do know my way around a distributor. I've had several of mine apart and adjusted the weights in them and make them spin faster and lock them and all that stuff. So, but I mean, I've been around small block Chevrolets for my whole life. The first vehicle I ever learned to work on was my dad's 71 C10. So I don't know if just less people are being grown up around it or nobody wants to do it. I don't know if machining is something. So basically, in conclusion, it's hard for me to understand why something like this is dying. At least I feel like it's dying just because you don't see it as much. There's very few people doing it. And especially for all these old Harleys, you don't see it that often at all. And I know it's a pretty niche group, I guess. But there's so many Harley riders. It's crazy to think about. So it's cool to see Barney doing this, and I'm happy that it's working out for him. And it's just cool. So I think more people need to get into stuff like this and not let all these old things die. Thanks for stopping by.